Sounds are all around us. We can get them from birds chirping, waterfalls, rushing rivers. We can get heavy sounds like lightning, and we can get light ones like waves lapping against the coastline to cars honking in traffic. Sounds are put together in a purposeful way. You can get a police car, a police siren singing along. But sometimes sounds are put in a specific way to create a specific atmosphere to express ideas or emotions. Such organized sounds are called music. Music is a collection of sounds or sounds. Music has established itself to be part of us, and living with music has made humans give many purpose to music. But from the first sight, it can be seen as a source of entertainment, distraction, or even time wastage. But there are many things music are used for that we seem to not know or maybe ignore them. Of course, music can make us dance. It can make us dance like this, this, or even like this. But where does music come from? Is it something just of recent? Did it come from God, Allah, or it simply came from nature? That's already too many questions about music. So, to know the history of music, let's go back to the past. Music goes back to ancient Greece from the word musicos, which is an ancient Greek word which before arriving English passed through French music and derived from Latin musica. So, using the word music has been traced back to the European roots men to think. Also, the source of the word mind and mantra. The historical part of music is theorized on archaeological findings, where discoveries of flutes carved from bones in which lateral holes being pierced on them. Dice Bay flute carved from a cave bear femur was discovered and is thought to have about 40,000 years. The ancient Egyptians credited music to one of their gods, Thoth. At least there are some people that believe music came from the gods. Culturally, the oldest musical tradition in the world is in Asia, which is the Indian classical music, where Indian women dressed in regional attire were playing variety of musical instruments which look like this. But some of the people who took music seriously were the ancient Greeks, where they taught music to the boys by the age of 6 because they believe music is an important thing for the cultural, social, and spiritual ceremonies. From the 1400 to 1600, musicians and singers started arising, often worked for churches, courts, towns. By that time, church choir started growing and church was a patron of music. It's from the 19th century that romantic music emerged. Romantic artists were characterized by their emphasis on emotions, describing human feelings, and went deeper into passionate, dramatic, expressive pieces and songs. In those days, music lovers performed at home on their musical instruments using their piano, violins, but from the 20th and 21st century, things evolved where radios, TV sets, sound recorders, or even the internet came up and made music more accessible and easier to get. Meaning we can listen to our music or our favorite song anytime, anywhere. So we see that music has much meaning and uses than we expect or even think of. In Africa, you can easily determine someone's cultural background just from the type of music the person listens. Even in our movies we watch, music is there to make the movie more attractive, realistic, and more interesting to watch. Talking about how it has affected the medical world, music can be used for therapeutic purpose. Music can fend off depression and increase our mood. It can also improve blood flow in our systemic circulation, lower your level of stress-related hormones like cortisol, and even ease pain. Music improves mood and well-being in older adults suffering from cognitive decline. Music can be used to beautify measure tournaments. Even things like football, they use music. For example, during World Cup. Champions League events, music is still used. It can also be used in many major events. For us to know and understand if music is good during sleep, during studying, let's hear how music affects our brain. When listening to music, there are many parts of your brain that functions simultaneously. Music is a complex thing to study because it was first believed that only one side of the brain deals with leisure, like music, which is the right hand side, whereas the left hand side of the brain deals with language. But modern studies using much developed equipment found that if not all, almost all the parts of the brain process music in their own way. Let's see how. Let's start. The auditory cortex processes sounds and determines loudness, rhythm, pitch, the tempo of the song. The visual cortex activates when watching the music or reading the music. The cerebellum mediates emotional responses to the music. So music can sometimes make you cry or make you happier. The hippocampus finding the music in your memories. At least when you have ever heard the music before, your brain will search the music, look for it all. And finally, the motor cortex, which when activated causes you to tap your feet, snap your fingers, and clap your hands, sometimes without even you noticing or being aware of. Birds, when your frontal lobe activates, it helps manifest pleasure and satisfaction, and together with the motor cortex and the other parts of the brain, you will do things like this, or this, or even this. So music tends to selectively activate brain structures and neurochemical pathways in the brain responsible for emotional regulation, attention, and memory. The rhythm and other characteristics of song we select can modulate our heart rate, activities in our brain, neural network. Listening to inspirational music can help you exercise harder. Parents from experience know that lullabies and gentle rhythm can help baby to fall asleep. Even older children sleep better after listening to soothing melodies. Fortunately, children aren't the only ones affected by music. Even in adults, when they sleep with music, they fall asleep faster, averagely about 25 to 45 minutes faster, and less waking up at night, which means more time that you're on the bed is spent sleeping and resting. The ability to hear music depends on the series of steps that converts sound waves coming into the ear into electrical signals in the brain. As the brain intercepts these sounds, a cascade of physical effects are triggered within the body, like lowering cortisol, releasing opioids like dopamine. Dopamine is released during pleasurable activities. While other people find it complicated and difficult to study music, others find it really easy and relaxing to study music. That is why answering the question studying music, it is a question which is very complex to talk about. More complex than just saying simply yes or no. Imagine yourself having a long and exhausting studying session. You would easily cope with music because music is able to activate reward centers in your brain. You receive many informations, especially during studying, and your brain needs to break those information down for better understanding. So for some people, listening to music helps them break down information more easily and make topics easier to understand. Depending on the type of music you listen during studying, it can help you either absorb the material better or distract you during studying. So why studying, there are certain type of music you listen. For example, if you prefer to study with music, no problem. It just depends on the type of music. For example, why studying, it's not good to study with music which you understand the language of the lyrics. If not, you're just going to be distracted. because you just be trying to come along with the music at the same time while reading, understand the language, reading a book in the same language. It won't be obvious. You process the information very less. Instead, choose slow music, or instrumental music, or even classical music. Also, keep the volume low. Study music should stay in a background volume. If it is too loud, it will surely disrupt your thinking process. So, in the studio music, you need to have certain conditions. If you do have those conditions, know that you might be studying in vain, or the music will just simply distract you. If you feel like a room listening to music, it's quite good, very useful, and we have seen that. But everything that has an advantage must quite have a disadvantage. So how can music be disadvantageous? Music increases aggressive behavior. Some people that are exposed to criminal area, they are more prone to enter into crime due to the type of music they listen. Some studies show that wrong music can promote unhelpful mental states and boost negative emotions like anger, aggression, and sadness. Thanks for watching this video up to the end, and please don't forget to leave a like. Don't also forget to hit the subscribe button in order to be notified when the second part of this video will be out. Till then, stay tuned.